Hey there, I'm Stefanie Flaxman. I've been a writer and editor for 20 years, and I have more than 200 videos on YouTube that help you live and work like a writer. That is a lot of videos, so let me curate my best advice for you. You can sign up for free exclusive updates at stefanieflaxman.com. I'll send you my top tips for new writers, plus other advice that works best in email rather than audio or video. It would be my pleasure to meet you at your inbox as your new writer consultant. Ready to join the club? Go to stefanieflaxman.com to sign up for free. And remember, I spell Stefanie with an F, not a PH. The proper spelling is on your screen right now. That is stefanieflaxman.com. I'll see you there. Welcome to Integrity Publishing. Integrity Publishing is a free audio course about content editing and rewriting in the age of AI. Today is a bonus lesson. There have already been 4 lessons in the course, and before I move on to lesson 5, I have a story to share because as I learn more about AI and talk about AI, I have an opportunity to refine my thoughts on the fast-growing topic and the fast-growing technology. A few lessons ago, I believe it was in the first lesson of the course, I talked about how I'm taking the position that I'm against AI. And that's a little general. It's a little broad, and it is a knee-jerk reaction to one part of the story. There's a lot going on here on a lot of different levels. So on a macro level, there are implications for civilization because of AI. So it's really easy for me to have that knee-jerk reaction and say, I'm against this on the macro level of what could possibly happen in society and civilization because of these choices that were made and the technologies that were developed. But on a micro level, my reaction needs to be based on how we are going to move forward in all of the professions that AI affects. And I talk about writing as a profession. So my response needs to be more nuanced and more evolving and really more neutral, because there's no point of just saying, well, this isn't the right direction. And it's not like I've been saying that, but I want to focus on what we can do as writers to take away that knee-jerk reaction of fear. Because there's fear on every level of this. There's fear for civilization, and there's fear for your career or what you would like to do. But what this time is reminding me of was around 2007, 2008, I wanted to start working full-time as a freelance writer and editor. Since about 1998, about 10 years at that point, I had had jobs related to writing and editing. I was learning about journalism and public relations and publishing and putting in my dues, having jobs that taught me about writing and editing and gave me skills within those industries. So around 2007, 2008, I wanted to fully establish myself as a writer and editor for hire and have that be my profession going forward. A lot of people that I knew, colleagues at the time, were transitioning away from writing and editing because even in 2007, 2008, around that time, people were going, you cannot move forward professionally as a writer anymore. The market is too saturated. There aren't good paying jobs. People don't value writers. That is not a long-term career. So people I knew were having negative reactions to what I wanted to do, and also saying that they were giving up and transitioning into other types of careers. So I thought about it, and I definitely respected that other people were pursuing different types of careers because they did not see a future in writing. But ultimately, I had a choice to make if I was going to listen to all of those opinions about where writing as a profession was going, or I could listen to them, or I could evaluate for myself what was going to work for me. So kind of as corny as it sounds, I knew writing was for me. So if you know that something is for you, you have to continue with it, but not ignore the environment and what is going on in the profession. So I feel there's a lot of similarities to what we're experiencing today, because at that pivotal moment for me, around 2007, 2008, see, people were naysaying about writing as a profession 18 years ago, 16 years ago, 15, 16 years ago. And at that time, even, everyone who stopped at that point and did other things, that was the right choice for them. But only you know the right choice for you. And writers who stick with it because they decide that's what they want to dedicate their professional lives to, the whole foundation of their careers, what positions those writers to be successful, comes down to three things. It's adaptability, flexibility, and creativity. Because you have to adapt to the environment in which you are working in. You have to be flexible in the way that you approach writing projects, and a lot of that flexibility has to do with learning the new skills that you need to work within this profession that you are choosing. And then third comes down to creativity, because writers who succeed, writers whose voices become important figures sounds very grandiose, but in history, is all based on their creativity and their unique voices to take all the information that is so easily available. Information is cheap, but they turn that information into powerful messages. And this comes down to creativity. So I decided to learn even more about marketing and use that to be the type of writer and editor who stands out, because it didn't just matter that I knew I had an important skill set that would be valuable to companies. You have to market yourself so that you are in front of the people who value what you do and want to work with you. So I think we're seeing something so similar today. And there have been so many different versions of this, even within the last 15 years. And think about the transitions, all of the disruptions in professions and creativity over time. The Industrial Revolution was a huge disruption to people's jobs, and more specifically back to writing, all of the different writing utensils. When we went from typewriters to computers, and then all of a sudden, if you wanted to keep working as a writer, you had to learn new skills. You had to adapt to computers. Just writing on a typewriter and the limitations of a typewriter weren't enough anymore. You had to understand how to use a computer. And then publishing has evolved, from print to digital. There have been so many disruptions, and the people who know they are meant to be writers, because that is a skill set that is the best match for them as a profession. They need to be adaptable, they need to be flexible, and they need to be creative. So my intention with Integrity Publishing, this course about content editing and rewriting in the age of AI, highlights how writers who maybe used to be able to get away with just having writing skills need to adapt and understand the mindset of an editor, because their editing and rewriting skills are going to be valuable to companies and publications, even more so than before, because things haven't changed that much in terms of serious publications and serious businesses who understand marketing and understand that there has to be an editorial review in between getting something written and when it is published. Companies that care about establishing themselves as trustworthy resources, who are reliable, who people want to come back to and hear the voices from that publication or hear the voices from that company, they have to have an editor in place that takes what a writer produces, and then the writer knows how to take that piece of writing and transform it into something that is going to be powerful for the audience they serve and powerful for the company. They're thinking in terms of marketing, and good marketing just means you're matching a really great product or service that can help people with the people who can use that really great product or service. So today, if you want to be a writer, still, you have a choice to make. Because it's not just business as usual. You have to move forward understanding that you need to be adaptable, you need to be flexible, and you need to ultimately bring your creativity to everything that you do so that serious companies who understand editorial review will understand that hiring you is a great addition to their team. Here's one example, then I'm going to wrap up. I've been talking about if you work for a company or if you have a company that makes handcrafted soap, how do you stand out against or among all of the other handcrafted soap companies? And also, you're speaking to a different person. I talked about this in a previous episode. You're speaking to a different person who buys a boutique handcrafted soap than mass-produced soap at the supermarket. So if we're all using AI to produce drafts, let's just go to the hypothetical situation that AI is doing all the writing. Well, then anyone who has a soap company and uses AI to get their content written about soap, they're all going to get the same drafts in this hypothetical situation. So then we have all these companies who would normally have a chance to stand out from each other with better marketing because of better creativity. They're all, if you go straight from writing to publishing, every handcrafted soap company is going to have the exact same website. And then we've all just become clones of each other. Now, this is hypothetical, but it's to show you that serious companies that care about their marketing because they want to reach the exact right prospects with their content by standing out with unique voices are going to have that middleman. They are going to have that editorial review in between getting something written, which could look very similar to their competitors, but having that editor in place who knows how to get business results for that company and knows how to serve the audience because they know exactly what that audience needs to hear so that the soap company stands out. And that is the role of the editor. It has always been the role of the editor, but it's why your editing and rewriting skills now, when information is so cheap and it's so easy to get a draft, the type of writers who are going to be qualified for these positions going forward are going to have strong editorial skills. So thank you for checking out this bonus edition of Integrity Publishing. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up to help other writers find it. You can also subscribe to the channel and tap the notification bell to find out when the next Integrity Publishing lesson is ready for you. That is it for today. If you'd like to get exclusive tips that I only share in email, go on over to stefanieflaxman.com and sign up for free. I will see you there and talk with you soon.